Hello, everyone, and I'm Mike, as Volodymyr said. So here is I will share this presentation. I don't think that it will be really clickable because you don't need to see my profile, but at the same time, I will just repeat that I'm co-founder of the online creative and tech institute Projector. We were not online at the beginning, but then COVID came to each house and said like, okay, actually we were the first. I think that the first phrase which we said always that, professional education can't be online. We were completely offline. We had 5-store building at the end, and then COVID came, and we just transformed our institute through the next 1.5 months. We met by board members every single day, and we transformed. And we were lucky because we started transforming, just experimenting with online. Now we're fully online, and we do our best to keep it great. It has a lot of pros and cons. I will tell a bit later about our plans, but we are going to go back to offline partially as well. And also, I was the first student at our institute. We established it with my friend, then another co-founder joined us, and then I think that the top amount of employees, like the team, was about 150 people of our institute. We have about 600 teachers. No, I guess that more. I guess that about 700 teachers. But also, we started this idea. At that moment, I was the art director of the first co-working in Ukraine, in Kiev. And I came to my colleague, to my friend, who was professional designer, and I wanted to switch profession. I tried a few times to switch to development, but I didn't get any success because I'm probably too stupid for that. So I decided that maybe I would like to go to design, and I went to my friend, and he explained through the next 1.5 hours. He explained me all the fields, and I asked at the end, where can I get the education of web design? And he said nowhere in Ukraine. It does not exist. He was the teacher at one offline, but also like just a small school. And I said like, maybe there. He said like, no, because I don't like the management. They do not allow us to build the program as we would like to. And then I said like, let's open our own school. And he came back in 1 week, I guess, to me and said like, could you help me? Because I was event manager, a director. I knew how to manage some just entertainment and educational process. That's why we started. And I was at the same time, we rented the meeting room at that co-working. So I worked at the co-working. Then at some point I came to the meeting room, opened the rolled up the banner, and I was the first student, I was the first manager, and I was the manager at Bibliotech Smart Cafe. Then I just left my job there, and I went and I became the designer. So I think that for the previous 7 years, I shared my time between Projector and design, and still now I have this passion in design, product design. So that's why I came to one of our startups. I will tell about it a bit later, and just help them to build the product better. That's why I'm art director at LEZO. And I really like to provide some research, teaching. Also, I finished 8 groups of the students of UX design at our institute. Now I'm just paused a bit. I'm retired, but recently I just came to my team and said like, maybe I will teach at another course. And here we go. I'm going to teach again. I will tell about our institute a bit more. And actually, I think that I will tell all the stories. So do not be pretty judgy about all this stuff. It's just an opinion, as I said. So it's not the statement. And I would like to share my thoughts. It came just from my head, and it's my opinion, my observation, and the stuff which we put into our product. So we have plenty of different projects under the umbrella of Projector, because we have this passion to build some impactful projects. That's why we have our institute. You can check some more information about us later. We have like small courses, short courses, about 3 months. But at the same time, you could combine them into the line of up to, I guess, that 5 years in different projections. We have 6 faculties: product management, product marketing, product design, product everything, product, even data science and machine learning. And people, what is our benefit that we teach based on a lot of practice. So our students, they struggle because they spend about 2-3 hours per day doing their home task. And we invite, instead of teachers, we believe not in teachers, but we believe in practitioners, because it's professional education. We have our Institute of Teaching. That's why, if like, where we teach them how to teach. Sorry for so many words, teaching, but at the same time some soft skills and so on. But at the beginning of war in Ukraine, we also established a non-profitable organization, foundation, which aims to get scholarships for Ukrainian women who were forced to leave their homes because of the war, to get better education. We have, I think that by now, I think that we have about 4,000 alumni, and the best results which we had. I think that these students, they have even much more passion. Also, we have non-profitable platform, mentorship platform. It's only with Ukrainian teachers, but maybe later we will make it wider. And it's like, again, it's 100% non-profit, because people, so we just connect mentors and those people who would like to get some mentorship. And then the people, they decide where to donate money. Now we focused only on army, because we help one particular part of army and we trust them. And we have this LEZO, so it's our own startup. So I think that we are the first institute in Ukraine, educational establishment, who has its own tech startup, because we understand that it's the projection of the education which we believe in. So we give the education, but this education people use to get some job. That's why we help them to get the job. And we have the platform which takes the keywords from CV and from the description of the job position, and put them on the map, and like map it all together, and gives the percentage of relevancy candidate versus the job position. So instead of spending 300 hours digging all the job positions, you just see those which are the best for you by a skill-oriented approach. So we don't believe in professions, but in skills. And also we do a lot of projects like typography alphabet. You can see that it's the history of culture, of Ukrainian culture. It's in English as well. We got a lot of awards at some different contests this project got. So we gathered. Also, we created the identity for Ministry of Education and Science. I think that we completed more than 2,500 pro bono projects, just because we can. And if we have some expertise in these fields, why can't we help the government or cool non-profitable organizations and so on? No introductions anymore. It was really important just to give you some background what we are, and because, as I said, so I will tell you my thoughts based on our experience which we got through the 9 years. And let's start with I want to tell you so today I will share the thoughts about the professional modern education. And I think that it differs from that. So now we have collaborations with Berkeley University. Just before this call, I had amazing connection with one beautiful lady from Cambridge. We have connections with Stanford, and I know how does it work from some angle. But at the same time, you know that modern education and academic, like old education, it's both of them, they have pros and cons. And for example, I know a lot of people who works at California at some tech startups or tech companies at Google. And recently, a friend of mine, she's lead designer at Google headquarters, and she said that she got two employees in her team as the senior product designers from Berkeley, one from Berkeley, another one from Stanford. And she said that they have amazing soft skills, but they have no hard skills. And our students from Projector, after 3 months course, maybe half a year course, they are junior designers from Projector works for her, because she works with them as well, better than these guys, because they're They're educated, but at the same time, they are not professionally educated. So it's really cool to research first, like old-fashioned academical education. What does it teach? So definitely hard skills is not that important because they change, the technology changes every single day. But at the same time, then, what is the approach? How do they teach? By books? How do you get this knowledge? So we believe in combination of theory, practice, webinars, discussion panels, philosophy. So when we implemented philosophy to our courses for the professional tech education as well. So you need to understand what is the way of teaching, because sometimes it's too theoretical, and sometimes, again, coming here, so sometimes it's too much of research and less of the development itself. So people know how does it work theoretically, but at the same time, they never completed any project from A to Z. And I think that it's not right. At our approach, we go to the company and we try to implement the real cases from the real market to every single course. So we come to the company and say, like, if you would like to get some project pro bono, and you will have even the option to hire the best student, a few students, it's optional at the end of the course, because you will see the progress. And it's really cool for the student because they not only get the project to their portfolio at the end, but also they touch the textile of the real projects. How does it work? So they work with real professionals, not just with theoretical teachers, and they do the job which they will be doing at their work, and they know how does it work. Sometimes people even understand during the process that it's not the stuff which they imagine, so it's not the profession which they imagine because they thought that it works differently. And definitely, so we know these like Berkeley, Cambridge, Stanford. It's really funny that I put only those which I collaborate with, but there are plenty of them. Sometimes they have really cool institutions or schools under their umbrella. Sometimes they are outdated, and I heard some stories in the U.S. that the universities were sued because the profession is outdated at the end of the course, and people cannot get any job at the end because it's outdated, and they have just depths and not modern education. At the same time, I really like there are some examples. Mostly they are connected to art or to some creative industries, but still they're in the middle. They're old. For example, UAL, I think that it's like top. It's really cool to say, like, top second University of Art and Design in the world. It's in London, so it's University of Art London, and they have really cool. So sometimes I met with the professors, and they were pretty academical, but sometimes they were really cool, and their way of thinking is really modern. They have new approach, and they change themselves. Even like after 80 years old, they change the process. They not say like, oh, I teach like that because I was teaching like that for the last 60 years. I think that it's really crucial for the teachers also to be ready to change themselves, because if they want students to get changed, because I think that it's logically approved, because people come there to get education to change their mind. I think that the professors should be the same. And also, I live for the last 6 years, I live in Czech Republic, in Prague, and this is also really cool school. It opened a lot of brackets in my head, because I have few alumni of this institute, of this academy. I have few teachers which I know, and they from this academy. I really like their approach. It's really modern. It's really practical. Again, it's connected to some art and creative industries, but still. And recently, I discovered this. I want to get the connection if someone has this connection with these guys, because they do not reply me anywhere. But it's really cool institute. It's research institute. It's not an educational establishment, but still, it's fully financed by Volkswagen, and it's in Berlin. And they research the contemporary art in the context of the world. That's why they have huge amount of philosophy there. It's not just like the artists who say like, oh, my art is cool, but like no one understands it because they are not artists. It's just me. No, they say like, guy, you have to create art, you have to give some freedom, but at the same time you need to understand the philosophy of the world. That's why we need more philosophy. Maybe it's my passion, that's why I put it so much into your heads. Sorry for that. About the materials, so we need, when we are talking about I partially touched that in the previous part, but at the same time I want just to focus on few dimensions of the educational materials. You need to understand what will be the formats. As I said, that there are pros and cons in all of these formats, but it could be online, it could be hybrid, it could be offline. Again, all of these, so online can have the same emotions, can have the same connections with the professor as offline. But at the same time, it's easier to connect different guys. Even you can invite, so now I'm in Prague, Volodymyr is in California. I don't know where are you, and especially those who will be watching the recording, but at the same time, you could be everywhere. And it's really cool. It could be only with all online, but it could be hybrid. And I think that later I will tell you about our university, which we are working on in build in the future. Definitely it will be hybrid. And do you remember the word COVID? It's so outdated now, but it, as I said, so it transformed us. So it's crazy. Again, like what could be the information formats? It's just the first list which came to my mind, and we use all of those because I think that all of those, it's like it's the Lego bricks which you need to use because especially if we are not talking just about some particular profession, I think that it's really crucial to use some of them because sometimes you need to bring some theoretical materials and it's affordable by lectures. But you need some panel discussions because you need to invite one opinion. Sometimes it's not enough. For example, if we are talking about AI, it's really cool to talk about AI. What we don't need to be ludists, but at the same time, we need to bring on the plate different thoughts about that to find the best of them or something in the middle, as usually said. Workshops to touch everything by the hands and to work, it's like the small project, master classes, discussions. Now we're working on few programs, online programs in English language about design, product design, and about product management, which we will launch, also one in California and one in Europe. And when I invited top guys, top professionals from the market, after a small research, they said like, it's really cool that you have some lectures, workshops, but we would like to implement discussions and to involve not so it's like panel discussion, but also it's discussion with the students. So both sides to create the meanings of something. Conferences, we organize a lot of conferences. It's not only to create some big space with some lectures, but it's also for networking. Don't forget that networking is really crucial. If you would like to raise good professionals with strong soft skills, conferences are really cool. Mentorship, because you connect peer-to-peer. Home task. It's crucial because we have a lot of competitors. They're much more successful from the point of business because they have groups of 300 students, but they do not do any home task, and it's just theoretical. We don't believe in this product because it's not education. It's just some informational sharing. For course cases, I already told this. Interaction, theory, practice, I already said about that. And base formats, it's like commercial. So what should be the base for the knowledge which you share? Definitely, like it could be some commercial projects, social projects. It's also cool because you communicate with those. Usually when you go to some institutions like theaters, especially non-profit theaters, governmental ones, or some ministries or something, it's really cool to communicate to them because they do not communicate like the business. And it's really to convince them to find the point in the middle of the solution. It's really cool. It gives you a lot of experience. It gives a lot of experience to the students. And gather the feedback regularly. I highlighted it in green side because for us, we gather the feedback from the students every single month because We need practitioners from the market as the teachers to let them bring all the changes in the technologies and materials at the moment of these changes. We can't afford to say like, oh, we have this book printed, it's outdated because, for example, AI came to the market, but next group will get not outdated, like some modern knowledge. No, we need these guys, but at the same time we need to react really fast, and that's why we gather after each month. We get the feedback from the students, and we see, like, we ask them about the teacher, about the home task, about the managers, and we change it every single. Then at the end of the course, we gather everything as well and just see, do we need this course anymore or not? What can we change? So we are always floating in the middle of the process. Let's focus on the teachers. So this is the list of our priorities. So every time when we go to get some new teachers for our new courses, we go by this list. So as you can see that the teacher is like, how great is the teacher as the person as the teacher, it's only on the third place. But for the first, it's the person. So we can't afford to bring some strange guy with some greedy or selfish person, even if he will be the best professional on the market, because the students come to us and they trust us and they trust those people. So they come with some empty space in their head, and they need to trust this person. If they won't trust as the person, they won't trust as the professional. That's why I think that it's really important. And it's also, you build the relationship not between only student and this person, but also with this person personally. That's why you need to, if you would like to keep this teacher for a long time, it's really cool. Professional, as I said, so not only professional, but practitioner. And then we can teach some soft skills, how to teach better. We call it the Institute of Mentorship, and we implemented it. So we developed few programs. We developed the team who manages all of our teachers, all of our professionals, and help them to become teachers. Principals, practitioner, a few level higher. So we have some bad competitors who hire their alumni sometimes even immediately after they finish the course. We think that it's wrong. I think that it's obvious. For us, it's really important that even if you come to us to some senior level course, even though there will be some C-level or I don't know, some lead level teacher, because we need to have this gap of the knowledge and experience. And definitely this person have to want to share the knowledge. We don't need to convince this person, because even we can bribe them, we can convince, we can motivate somehow. But I think that if the person thinks only, if it should be natural. And yeah, we are responsible. So about the students, we split our students into two groups, logical groups. So some of them, they come to reskill, and some of them, they come to upskill. And they are pretty different, because even the marketing is really, really different. The message should be different. They did differently the research, they did differently the choice. And yeah, so you understand that. That's why you need to understand what is important for reskillers, what is important for upskillers, and it will be comfortable, it will be useful for your marketing, and either it will be comfortable for you even from the point of understanding what do they need, why they are here, what questions do they have. You know, it's like good landing page. When you create a good landing page of your product, what does it mean good? Good means when you answer the questions of the person earlier than this question appear, and then the person understands, yeah, it's the right, this is right, because this is the right place to get the service or the product, because they understand what are my jobs to be done, let's say. How do we group them? Definitely we validate. So it's like it has pros and cons, but at the same time we don't have the sale team. Now we will change it a bit, but we have support team. And I think that 70% of the students who come to us, who register and leave their wish on the website to study at our institute, we call them back and we try, especially for reskillers, we try to spend at least like 10 minutes talking to them just to validate, do they understand correctly? Where are they going? What will get the, what is the, how does it look this particular profession in their head? And you can't even imagine how often it does not match the reality, and they change. They say, oh yeah, really, I thought that this is something, and it's not. Second stuff, it's really important to get the equal level of the students at the course, and even for skillers. Because sometimes people come and they do not know anything, and they just stop, they slow down the educational process. And it's opposite. If they are overskilled, they will just do the problems. That's why you need to balance somehow some test material, something else, some questionnaire. Even for skillers, you could just give some questionnaire and let them teach, let them study some tool, for example, some hard skills before, because actually we do not try not to teach the some tools, but we try to teach people how to think differently. It's really important for us that during the online sessions, all the cameras should be on, because yeah, it's just about the involvement, I guess. And it's really important. And we have this rule for all the teachers to remind our students that cameras should be on. And diploma, it's our responsibility. That's why I don't know the exact statistics, but for sure we do not give to all the students the diplomas, because then it's our responsibility. We have perfect reputation on the market among the companies, among the governmental institutions, and even sometimes we have this, because we have this LEZO recruiting tool. That's why we have a lot of sections, and they write, if you are from Projector, it will be benefit for you. That's why it's our responsibility, and we can give. If the student just watched the lectures and didn't do some home tasks, we do not. Even if we are just short courses, we have the same principles as the educational like institutions, big ones. Why do people get education? Definitely, I think that they get it to have some job at the end. That's why there are so many problems. Okay, it's not about all the education. I'm not sure what are philosophers looking for at the end of the, maybe to teach other philosophers, maybe to get another job. I don't know. But there are some professions just for your own pleasure. But most of the people, especially they come to us because we have professional education. They come to get their job or to build their own project, to build some startup. And for those who are in California, you know a lot of these people. That's why we have to answer the questions at the end of the course. So do they have a good portfolio when they end because it's really important for them to have the good portfolio. And we can't say like, oh, okay, you get some education and now you finish it and go to get, you can combine it, as I said, so at practical course. Then are they ready to pass an interview? Maybe just at the end of the course to finish it with the lecture from recruiting agent or some HR. I think that it's really important as well, just to give them the real knowledge. They ask the real questions. They have some workshop dedicated to the interview itself, interview process, and I think that it's really important. Are students ready for the real work? Again, I already covered this topic, but again, think about all the next steps. Do not be responsible for the next steps. The student's life, like your connection to the student, does not end when they get the diploma. Okay, you have alumni club, but at the same time, does it work? Is it active? Does it help? I think that it's really important to think in advance, and it's your care. It's not just like, oh, they will come again, once again. No, it's just your responsibility because it's part of the process. Do they have the relevant knowledge? Is it outdated at the end of the course or not? I think that I covered this stuff before. And where will they get the job? again, that's how we got to the point that we need to get our platform, and actually it's free for our students, not only our students, but I mean like for the candidates. That's why it's not like we didn't build it to get some money from these students, like, oh, it's upsale. No, we just think, come on, it will be really cool. Could you imagine the happiness of the person who ends the education? They get really pleasure time during this educational process because they see their progress. Then they get the job and they validate that those knowledge, it was really cool because it's not outdated, because they got the job, and we help them to get the real job. So we just completed all the points of their jobs to be done. I think that it's amazing. That's what brings us happiness. AI, definitely. I think that it's really important to mention, because 2 years ago it was on the tongue of just some amount of people, but now AI is everywhere, especially in California. I think that it's the most widespread some events. So I think that now if we will open some website, definitely there will be a lot of dedications to AI. But again, we could be Luddites. I think that all of you know that it's the movement in France some time ago, but it came and it's still there. It came when it was there were Luddites in France, and they fought against the machines who created the textile instead of them. Then calculators, a lot of stuff like that. Now, a lot of Luddites, let's call them that, say that, oh, AI will kill us. Probably not. If you want to be killed by AI, or if you want to, so there are a lot of a lot of teachers and professors in Ukraine. When AI came to the market, they say like, oh, we will be against that. Even recently, our government, they created the law, which, okay, it will just start, I think that in 2-4 years, but it's regulation, but yeah, it's really strong regulations of the usage of AI in your scientific works. That's why I think that you have to regulate, you have to think about how to do. But from the perspective of the student, I think that you don't need to be afraid of that. You don't need to think that it will take your job. Think, how can you use him as the supporter? That's why we, at the beginning, when OpenAI came to the market, we immediately created few courses based on AI, and it has significant results. So we teach how to use AI to make your work faster, better, to make yourself better competitor. And it's really cool. So we have the course of product management with AI and product design with AI. And I really like these courses. Now, as I said, so we are going to launch few online programs for European and US market. And it's also a huge part in each of these programs. AI should be there. AI tools help to save the time. They help to validate something really fast. They help to think with a different head. So you have like really tiny co-founder, let's say. Especially, I highly recommend to all of the startups to use AI tools, because it's really cool. And actually, it's scary, but I even shared it with my mom. She's scared really badly, but I heard this theory that maybe AI is the next shape of human evolution. So it could not exist without our biological, so without this step, it could not be created. But in some time, biological body, it won't be necessary. That's why we will just disappear, and there will be just AI, but it will be our like next step. And yeah, I will be finishing. So about us, just few things. So yeah, definitely we would like to build. Recently, we met with Volodymyr in Berkeley, at Berkeley University at some conference, because I came there, I was invited. Currently, we're working on some innovation hub, but I think that on the top will be university. So we are going to build innovation university with laboratories. There are no such hubs in Ukraine, unfortunately, but I think that it's extremely necessary now, because we need to rebuild our country and rebuild it really qualitatively. That's why I think that we will build this. So we are working. If you will be interested in collaboration in this, so there will be educational programs, There will be some laboratories, there will be entrepreneurship programs and business making. So we will teach them and even create some foundation who will invest in their startups. So if you would like to talk about that, just text me. There was the link to my LinkedIn. So just feel free. We are about not competition, but we are about collaboration is always our, you can quote me. AI as the part of education, definitely we will go deeper and deeper into this stuff, and we talk to some cool foundations, some cool investment funds, and they always say that it's really hard. They do not want to collaborate with some outdated Ukrainian institutions, but otherwise they would like to talk to us because we understand how to use the technologies, and we can't be the enemies of the technologies. We should be their friends. We need to think how to become the manager of this technology. And the collaboration with, so just how we collaborate with everyone, with educational institutions, as I said. So I mentioned some top universities and even smaller universities, with companies, with people. Again, if you would like to teach, would like to collaborate, to help to create some network for us, or just to add us to your network, just come here. And government, in our country, government is pretty tricky stuff. Sorry. Just because today is one guy, tomorrow is another goal, and you can't rely on them, and business lives much longer than the government. But again, we like to keep them as the friends and collaborators if they would like to. So they should not be on the top of you, but at the same time, if they're at the same level with the same priorities and they could give you some benefits, why not? That's it. Thank you.